All right, let's see what we're going to talk about today. Okay, welcome to the Reds Reviews. NBA season is coming, and also we're going to cover some money management ideas and stuff that a lot of the industry guys won't talk about. First, let me introduce a little bit about myself. What I do here is take a little bit of action here and there. Been doing it a minute, and wanted to share some tips and stuff with you as I go through this process of the NFL season this year, a high season as we like to call it, when all the players are around. So as far as money management, we're gonna look at this NBA season coming in here. The Clippers are gonna be strong. The Lakers are gonna be strong. I don't know about the Nets. I mean, they did pick up Duran and everything, but they're gonna have to work together, and it's gonna have to be something amazing in order for them to really contend. However, what I'm more concerned about is how I'm limiting what's going on. What am I doing to help protect myself? And at this point, I'm limiting parlays to only 3 teams, and I'm limiting to the max wager on the parlays to around 250. I do have bigger guys that I might let run, but it's just because basketball is one of those things that you can't protect yourself so much with. It's got less factors to worry about. So you don't have rain. It's indoors every time. The floors are usually always the same, pretty close anyway. So as far as spreads go and actual percentages, it's one of the easier sports to beat, in my opinion. And I've seen myself get beat before. So you limit the parlays, you limit the things you can tie together. Money lines are a must, no more than 300s. And, in the case that I do want to let a guy, on a straight, go big, I mean, I'm using the layoff accounts that are available. I'm using those things that are coming in and being a very useful tool. Okay, just because I don't want to hold all that exposure sometimes. Sometimes I get beat on other sides in different games, and I'm trying to hold these things together and make it so that it's an efficient money process every single week for me, every single week. So let's do this. NFL. What do you got going on Sunday? What do you got going this next week? And I'm sure that there's going to be some stuff that everyone's looking at, and because of injuries like on San Francisco and Big Ben and all these guys are announcing retirement. Some of the older guys are just checking out. It's still the Patriots game, always. I hate it. It's the truth. So anytime they play a subpar team, always look at keeping those money lines tight because someone will bet the money line on that game because we offer it. I'm a local guy. I got a little bit of action here and there. Probably have around 30 or so guys that are with me weekly. I use the PayPerHead.com interface for my book, and it is something that I've landed on over the years. It isn't something that I was necessarily looking for originally. I was with a cheap place because I wasn't making too much on the side as this was going on, but as things progressed, I needed something a little more efficient that offered everything that I can use, such as live wagering, live dealer. But the most important part about all this is that there's other tools that are now being released, and this just happened in the last couple of years. I mean, I got a layoff account now with these people, and I have other places that I can fence, but they charge me, juice or whatever it may be. The lines on these guys, I sometimes can't get a hold of them or whatever, so I use this online, and it matches everything most of the time of my players. So I go and I limit my exposure. For example, I got games today that I'm looking at, and by the time you hear this, those games have already been passed. But I'm not taking exposure on that. I mean, I'm not made of money, but I do make a little bit on the side with this. We'll get into numbers eventually, but for now, I'm using that as it goes. The other thing that I did actually get, a hold of and set up this time around is the APS system. And I know a lot of people are kind of skeptical over doing this because I just meet my guys. However, if you are somebody who wants to expand territory, like I got a guy that's 2 towns away, and I don't want to meet him weekly, and his settle figure's not that big. He doesn't make that much money, and the guy plays within whatever. But on a Friday night, if he blows it out, all he has to do is log in, and he can deposit with a credit card. I can deposit with credit cards and whatever else for my agent account and my layoff account. But this guy, if he goes in and deposits, it goes straight into my balance, straight into the balance, and I can use that. So it's just one of those tools that I've used for the last little bits that since it was released, and they just released the credit card thing. Before it was only Bitcoin, which is useful, but not everybody has Bitcoin. Not everybody trusts Bitcoin. But here we are. So right now I'm looking at I got about 6 pages of wagers that are running. A lot of early action on the live wagering on these games, um, and it's been good to me so far. I made about at least not considering the total for the week, but today, around $1,400 with about 27 players, and that's not bad for a day, right? It's not bad at all. So let's just keep moving on. The NBA's right around the corner for us, and I'm going to be doing some great stuff with that. Going to be limiting the parlays so that it's only 3 teams. I don't want to get shellacked by these guys. Sometimes when there's 12 games on the board, or however many they stack on a Wednesday or a Friday night, the Friday NBA, you got all these games out there. I keep it covered. I just 3-team parlays for you guys. That's all you get. 250 max wager. Let's go. Anyways, check back in. This is Red's Reviews. We're going to be talking more about the interface that I'm using. I might even figure out how to get some screenshots in here for you guys. Not sure how much I want to get exposed on that. But if it helps you, if you do get some likes, subscribes, and everything in there, and we start getting some traction, plan to see a lot more. All right, let's